touched a lot on the subject. Now, has everybody seen the flat earth model? The one and only? It goes like this. It's shaped like this, with a centre vortex in the Arctic Circle, north, south. That's what we've got. There's a vortex in the middle of the Arctic Circle, the centre of our round Earth. Centre Earth. There. Everything works from there. Just like a clock. It moves 24 hours a day because our sun is in there. Our sun rules. Like in religion, when we read in the Bible, you must serve thy man, or whatever. They're referring to the sun. It's all astrophysics. The sun rules. The moon creates new life, but the sun rules. I'm going to show an exploded view of this while I'm here. What we have to realise, what everyone has to realise, is the magnetic fields run our system. Magnetism, all on magnetism. It's the pumping of the tides twice a day creates the pressure. The pressure builds up. It's a closed system. Electrons are flowing this way in this vortex. But I'm about to show you what happens in the middle. So we have magnetic field flows like this. Magnetic field flows out of the south. We know that. They're auras, right? But they pass down through the earth like this. This is magnetism. Earth is a ring magnet. I've just shown on a video, if you go back, have a look at my other video, what the magnetic field does. It comes up, it goes over, and comes back down on the south side of the equator. Then it comes out and goes over to the centre and out through the northern vortex. That's exactly what it does on a ring magnet. Comes up, stays on the south side of the equator, because it's all within inside the tropics. The magnetic field comes up, down, there's the equator through the gates. Down through here, but then passes this way. Back up through there. This stays on the north side of the equator, but passes back through that way. I haven't figured out why yet, but it's part of the duality, it's the double system. I'm about to give you an exploded view of this vortex, because I've just cottoned on to science. I'm not a scientist, I'm a retired builder. But when I realised, when I figured out the design of the flat earth, it all started making sense. So imagine this is the big vortex in the centre of north. Now everybody's seen vortex water, the spiralling, spinning of water, how it gets sucked down the centre here. Before it comes back up, flows up that way, flows up there. But what's happening, and you've seen it, there's nothing going on in here. That's hollow. That's what they call inertia. Nothing. Dead. What is happening is it's flowing down here. Flowing down here. This is the reverse cycle. This is how we get all our energy, all our power fed through the power lines. Through your house. The electrons going that way. Electrons going this way. The passing. It's the duality. It's like a magnetism. Bar magnet. You have electrons that way, electrons that way. They say negative, positive. So this is how it works. And because of the system under pressure, you know, they're spinning, all the water spiraling. It doesn't spiral horizontally on a flat plane, does it? It spins this way. It's just the way it is. There is our 23.5 degree ecliptic. Not out there in La La Land, 93 billion miles around it, 93 million miles away around the sun, because the sun is in here. I've told you this is how you feed, this is how energy comes through our power lines, this dual system. Well, this dual system in our closed system, in the vortex, creates the electrical charge. Because under pressure, it's a closed system, it builds up pressure and it cuts it. In physics, in the induction system, it explains it all. It casts a current across. Instead of the current flowing up the copper cable, copper spring or windings, it'll shoot that current across because you built up too much pressure, and it'll go bang and create a voltage. Well, this is what's happening continuously when you get the two fields in your electric cables. The voltage, continuous voltage all the way. It's your power supply. This is what's happened inside the vortex. It's the exact same thing. And inside this vortex, in mythology, it's called the dragon. Everything gets devoured back down through there, and that's how it happens. That's how it works over time. It's the cycle of time. All these background stars you see, all go up, out there, and finally go back in there, get swallowed up. Then the next lot comes back up. It's like the twisting of the earth. It's like, I don't know what it is, it's sand or what, but it's all to do with electrons. Electrons in the system, and we know in physics they tell you electrons have to be in a closed system, a vacuum, to spin. And what happens? What have we got in here? We get the spin, and there's the sun, because this is spinning. This is going around like this. So the whole system is going like that. And this is the rotation. Everything is moving in that direction. But because of this shooting back that way, it creates the sun, the voltage. And from that voltage, or within here, we have this vacuum. This is the vacuum. The moon and the planets are within here going around the sun. They're in a vacuum. They only work in a vacuum. This is why they talk about space out there in La La Land, way out there. But it's all in here. It's all within Earth. It's the top of our dome, our closed system. You can't get to it. From religious texts it says it's unscarred because we can't get to it. We've seen rockets go up and go like this, haven't we? We've also seen smaller rockets done privately go up and go tink and then start falling back down. They don't hit something solid, they just and then start falling back down. We cannot get to the dome. So here's the vacuum, and these are all the electrons around the sun, all the planets. But out here we have all the constellations and everything else. They're all floating around. They all must be all placed in here. Because the sun's like that, we get this bulge. The Milky Way has a bulge, doesn't it? Any astronomer will tell you that. And that bulge, the sun sits like that. In Egyptology, it's the crocodile. Look at that. That's the eye. Other cultures it's dragons, but it's all about the devouring. They'll turn into some scary feature, you know. But that's the way the system works. That's all in physics. It's right there in your face. Comes up out of Earth, the magnetic field. Comes up here. It's just the pumping, the pressure of the tides. Something's going on down there. There's a big turbine system going on. Pushes us up. And then bang. But we can't see any of this in the centre of the Earth. It's like you can't see your spirit inside your head. It's all at the centre of your brain too. That's the centre of your brain. One hemisphere, two hemisphere. Same thing, there's the sun. The real sun that we do not see. Just like we can't see the sun in here. But anyway, the pineal gland is the man's sun. That's how it works. And how I got onto all this is I started looking into a microwave. How a microwave works, and it works the same way. So many things have come from this system. And I'm pretty sure they knew about this system way back in 1900. Because that guy Lyman Frank Baum, who wrote The Wizard of Oz, it's basically all about the centre north. Remember the green castle with all the stars in it? Up in the Arctic Circle, ice, stars, all the celestial bodies are all in here. That's the elliptic with the planets, but all the stars, background stars are out here. Maybe all the constellation, all the stuff that hangs around stays here. It won't be in the centre. They must be on. Now they're right around the elliptic, aren't they? No, they're all around here, aren't they? Yeah. I don't know much about astrology, but I've figured all this out on my own. So everything must be concerning this massive elliptic, whatever. It's all there. Now, the microwave. This is amazing. This is what they call a megatron. Now let's go back to there. Let's go back. Magnetic fields, right? That's the magnetic field. That's the electric field. The magnetic field around the electric field. We know all that. We know all about that in physics. This magnetic field is flowing out. I showed you earlier how the magnetic field flows around the Earth. Okay, so got that sussed. That's what runs our world. Well, no, it's the guts of everything is frequencies. This is a roaring sound. That flowing in that, it's like the buzzing of an electric cable. The bzzz, this whole system is creating a pile of frequencies. Millions, probably millions of frequencies. And everything out here in our physical world is all based on frequencies. Because frequencies is light. We only see things because of frequencies. Our eyes are reading the frequencies. It's our brain that gives us a picture due to our 5 senses programmed into our brain. But everything out here, all the celestial bodies we see out here are holographic projections. Holographic projections from here. This is projected up to give Polaris. From here it's projected out to give the Sigma Octantis rotation. That is the sun, Sigma Octantis. It's the back of the Milky Way at night, faded, very faint there. Because the sun will be on this side, won't it? It's night time over there. And this up there is Polaris. The sun is Polaris, slightly off centre, right? That's the way it works. Okay, we've got that sussed. This is what they call a megatron in a microwave. Guess how it works? Not making much of a frequency, but anyway. There's two magnets in here. Two magnets. Everything to do with this world is magnetics. We're in a big magnetic field. And this, look at this beautiful fan. Free flowing, smooth operation. That fits on there. It actually fits in there. And it blows. In the Arctic Circle, in the Antarctic, there's winds. A freaking lot of wind. And we've got a lot of wind. And it blows into here. Blows into here to create frequencies in the magnetic field. And in here, it's releasing energy. We get power coming out of here. There's no feed, there's no power fed into this, but there's power coming out of here, all on its own. Some magnets and wind. This is why I think they've got modern aeroplanes working on the same system, where they're very fuel efficient. But they've got a problem. It's probably another reason why they're shutting the countries down, because they don't have the planes to fly one around anyway. So the frequency, the magnetic field, creates power. Exactly what this does. Don't mess with these things, because right inside there are the electrons. It's a sealed unit. It's a vacuum in there, but the electrons are flying around, like here, inside there. I've opened it up. That's what it is there. Inside that little unit in there. That's deadly poisonous. They're coating on there, so I've sealed it. Don't let that get in your lungs. Inside there is a sealed unit apparently. So where the electrons are doing their thing. And then that power comes out there into this transformer. This is flipping heavy. This is like I would think, a capacitor. So I've got the induction system creating it, the capacitor balancing the system, which is basically our Earth and the closed system we live in here. That's the capacitor. So I thought that was interesting. Wanted to share it. You cannot fault this flat earth design. Get it out there, everybody. The Egyptians have left us this. Newt, the sky goddess. Shu standing there with his arms up. I could go on and on, but I've done previous videos about it. The magnetic field is in there. And the Milky Way is in there. The sun. And that turns. That Milky Way turns. Anyway, the magnetic field's flowing up and it comes down here, out there, down there and up there. I'll just quickly show you that again, in case we didn't quite all see it the other day. South Pole, North Pole are exactly the same. They lied to you. They come out of the south and look, it wants to go back down. It's pulling near the equator there, but not quite. It's staying on the south side. Okay? It's staying on the south side. It's to stay there. So it comes up, goes up in the air and back down the south side of the equator. Then it comes out from underneath the equator and shoots back into the north side. North side of the equator. See? Right out there. Wants to pull back into the north side. where it actually goes up into. So it comes up, goes over, down, then through the bottom of the earth, into the earth, and then around up to the Arctic and flows out through the Arctic. See? Flows out there. Out to the Arctic, out from the south. But it doesn't want to shoot over to the north, does it? Look. See? It's not shooting to the north, is it? No. Admittedly, this is a ring magnet. And they like to tell you live on a spinning ball. But that's all garbage. Who's ever found a spherical magnet? They are man-made. And they make it so they're the opposites. But in this system, there is no opposite really. But there is an attraction. Or it's a medium, not an attraction maybe. It's a bit tricky to explain. I find it hard to get into my own head. But this is what the electrons are doing. They cannot leave. Why would they leave? What's producing them, causing them to leave? To go out and all the way around to here? Why would they? Eh? Why would they? But at this point here, even on a spherical ball, that field would come out and go back around like this. It would either go out and around, maybe out like that, I'm not too sure, but it's going to shoot back here. Maybe go like this, because that's what it's doing here. It's coming out. It's the infinite energy sign of the snake. It's like that. This is where we get the, that's the tropics. More atmosphere, more moisture in the atmosphere. So that could be this could be the attraction, because it's all about frequency and a medium, and our medium is moisture. So if the moisture is denser here at the equator, more what do you call them, molecules, I don't know, of water than out here, the random ones, it's going to be more attracted to this area. So if that was the case, if it came out there and went down here, why would it shoot out there? It's come up there, it's going to shoot back to its kind, I suppose. Anyway, that's the way it works. I think the attraction is due to the extra moisture in the the humidity in the equator. Okay. What do you think of that?